Hello and welcome, future Dolphins. Congratulations on your recent admission to our school. My name is Scarlett and I am a second year student here at CSU Channel Islands. And today we will be highlighting liberal studies. And here with us today, we have Dr. Michelle Dean. Hi, Dr. Dean, how are you?
Hi, fine, thank you. I hope you're well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get started, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about liberal studies?
Sure. My name is Michelle Dean. I'm the coordinator of the Liberal Studies program at CSUCI. The Liberal Studies program is housed in the School of Education, but the purpose of this program is to give individuals a broad education across multiple fields. So upon graduating from CSUCI, we want you to have exposure basically to all programs across campus. The goal of liberal studies, though, is really to prepare individuals who want to become either special education teachers or general education elementary school teachers. So giving you this breadth of knowledge helps to prepare you to teach multiple content areas that is required in both special education and general education elementary school teaching.
Okay. So what would you say the most popular courses, minors, other options within the major would be?
The most popular courses in the major are EDUC, Ed 101, so Ed 101, and EDMS 422. So these classes are hands-on learning opportunities where students and the faculty, the classroom is on a school campus, on a school setting. Students have opportunities to work inside K through 6 classrooms and support teachers and work with students. So it's a hands-on learning experience in a realistic, authentic, applied setting. Students also like Art 102, which is multicultural children's art. And they like Performing Arts 343, which is teaching drama to children.
Okay. Is there an academic background you'd recommend a student have before entering the major?
Well, you can enter the major as a freshman in college. So the academic background is an interest in becoming a teacher.
Okay. And so if it's also teaching oriented, are there opportunities for hands-on learning like internships or student teaching?
Well, it is preparation for students who eventually shift into the teaching credential, either in their senior year, which is the ITEP program, or post-baccalaureate, which is the more common thread, which is you would graduate with a bachelor's degree in liberal studies and then apply to the credential program, and then which is a one-year program where you would get a credential in either multiple subject, which is elementary school teaching, or special education. Within the liberal studies major, we ask all liberal studies students to choose a concentration. So what a concentration is it's an opportunity, it is a requirement, to take 9 additional units, so 3 additional classes in a certain subject area that is of interest to you. So these areas could be bilingual authorization, history and social science, human development and psychology, mathematics, reading, language and literature, science, and visual and performing arts. So students, liberal studies students, have the opportunity to select any one of these concentrations to say, this is an area where I would like to dig a little bit deeper and take 3 additional courses, 9 additional units. So it would be a liberal studies major with a concentration in one of those concentration areas. So that's a pretty exciting opportunity for students who become interested in specific subject areas, and they know that's an area where they would like to really expand their knowledge.
Okay. Is grad school an option that a lot of your students opt for, and do you prepare students for that in any way?
A majority of liberal studies students apply to the credential program, which is a post-baccalaureate program. We do have one option where students in their junior year can apply for their senior year to get their go move through their credential program as a senior. This is really for exceptional students who really know that that is the direction they want to go as soon as they get to campus. I would say the vast majority of students enter the credential program after they've graduated with their undergraduate degree. Many students, once they finish their credential program, move into the master's program. So at CI, we have a master's in education, the master's in education and curriculum and development, master's in education, higher education, and the credential admin, or the admin credential, and then disability studies. So many of our credential candidates, after they've gotten some teaching experience, come back to get a master's in education as well.
Okay, so it sounds like you answered one of my questions ahead of time. I was going to ask if students could earn their degree here and then stay to complete their credential.
Yes, that's a very popular choice, and we certainly welcome it. We like to have teachers. There's a shortage of teachers in Ventura County, and we certainly want to groom candidates to serve our community, or the community with which we live.
Okay, so is there any general advice you would offer a student just beginning their studies here?
Yeah, so students, one thing about liberal studies program is that you really are having opportunities to learn across the entire campus, and that is not something that other majors necessarily get. So there's a great benefit in meeting professors across disciplines and really expanding your knowledge. With that, though, it means that your schedule doesn't look like other major schedules. So it's important to understand how to read the catalog, to check in with the CAR report, and really keep track of your schedule and the classes that you're taking to make sure you're on track to graduate. And we have systems in place to help students do this, but the most important way to make sure that you're on track towards graduation is to know your calendar year and to check in with your CAR report on a regular basis.
Okay. And so regarding those concentrations, do you have any really concentrations that students have developed that you can think of?
Well, the concentrations have to be the ones that I listed. So
okay.
From bilingual authorization, history and social science, human development and psychology, mathematics, reading, literature, reading language or literature, science, or visual and performing arts. So some people feel just more passionate about one area versus the other. So we encourage students to select your concentration pretty quickly once you enter into the program.
Okay. And so what made you first interested in liberal studies?
Well, I am a professor in the School of Education, and my personal background is in special education, but I have never seen a general education classroom without some students with differing abilities in the classroom. And generally, we also live in an incredibly diverse community, and one way to help learners many learners don't learn in stereotypical patterns, and one way to help a diverse group of learners is to try different ways, different methods, present information visually, orally, using your body. And I feel like when you have this broad understanding of different disciplines across campus, you have many more resources to pull in and help students from all backgrounds and of all linguistic backgrounds and abilities. So I think liberal studies is important in really developing people who want to help children become citizens and really support their community.
Okay. Do you have any favorite classes you like to teach?
I teach in the master's program generally and in the credential program. So within the liberal studies program, I am more limited. In the summer, I tend to teach typical and atypical development, which is SPED 410. And that's really where students learn about child development and when children deviate from typical development. It's also when we teach how to write a lesson plan and the development and linking writing a lesson plan to developmental theory. This is why we do this, because this is the way students learn. And this is how they learn at this point in development. I also teach a class called Individuals with Disabilities in Society sometimes and over the summer. And that's really just moving through the special education eligibilities and giving a broad introduction knowledge about these are what different disabilities look like. This is how we can help individuals or families. And really the premise of that class is it is to help future teachers, but it's also to help any citizen, because you never know if you'll have a child with a disability, or a friend will, or a niece or a nephew, or if you're simply at a Starbucks and you want to be helpful and kind. So it's just a good foundational class in saying, here is exposure to different disability categories, and this is how we can coexist in society and be helpful and knowledgeable about other people's experiences.
Okay, and my final question is, are there any clubs that are specific for students doing liberal studies?
There is a Future Teachers Club, which is a great organization to be involved with. So yeah, and then just because of the true nature of liberal studies being so diverse, I encourage students to explore all the clubs on campus because like the major, it's great to pull resources and increase knowledge and connections in many different areas.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Dean. Students, if you have any questions about the Liberal Studies program, please visit our website, go.csuci.edu/academics. Bye, and we hope to see you in the fall.